Well, I remember one of our early interviews, this I think before Vlad TV, you talked about how you had been buying up properties in Philly, you know, as you were kind of getting money and established. Was that something that you stuck with and continue to kind of build your real estate portfolio?
Yeah, I definitely got a few properties in the city. I didn't like go super crazy with it like everybody else, but I definitely got a few properties.
I mean, when you look at your career, right? I mean, hip hop is sort of an interesting place where the average hip hop career is like 5 years, let's say. You know what I mean? Where you get this 5-year run, the labels are behind you, all the promo and everything else like that. And then after those 5 years, you got to figure out what to do with the rest of your life. Because most times you're still a young man or a young woman by the time that 5 years expires. Yeah. So, you know, you, from all of our interactions, it seems like you've always been good. I've never really felt like you were struggling or made poor decisions with your money and, you know, or did things that would put you in a compromising position as you got older into your 40s and, you know, eventually into your 50s, 60s, and 70s. What do you think, in retrospect, was the reason why you were able to maintain all these years and not fall into the trap where you see a lot of, you know, other artists from your era have fallen into?
I mean, I just pay attention and, you know, I value things. You know, I understand the value of things and I understand, like, you know, what you can get snatched away from you in the blink of an eye, you know, so, you know, I try to value my relationships, you know, I try to value my businesses, you know, I definitely value my income, and, you know, I just try to make smart decisions. You know, just being in the streets, you see somebody be on top 5, 6 years and they didn't save their money and now they had to spend all their money on lawyers and, you know, now they reaching out to people that they used to do shit for and won't nobody do nothing for them. I seen that happen 1,000 times and I'm like, that's not gonna be me. You know, so I always try my best. And I put God first with everything I do. Like, you know, like it's been times where things got tight. You know, I never was to the point where, like, you know, I had to sell anything or trade anything in or anything. But, you know, it's just important to just be on point and to pay attention and to maintain a wise brain, you know, and, you know, try your best to make good decisions.
Well, Freeway, you know, like I said in the beginning, you and I go back 17, 18 years when Vlad TV was hot in here DVD. You know, when I would show up to a studio in New York with my camera, I'd be holding the camera myself.
It's crazy. It's crazy
doing
how,
interviews
like,
with you.
A lot of, like, you know, like people such as yourself, you know, that was in the business that wasn't the actual artist. And even people like I see, like, there's in position. Like, look at Shari, Bryant, for instance. She's the president of Rock Nation. When I first met her, she was an intern. Like, it's amazing just to see how, like, so many people that was around, like, actually outlast a lot of artists and are living more successful lives than a lot of the artists.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was a DJ. I was a mixtape DJ. That's how it started. But as time went on, I started to get older. I realized that, you know, certain things are not sustainable. Like doing club gigs into my 30s and 40s and 50s was not sustainable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me being in front of the camera all the time wasn't sustainable. I had to figure things out. I had to build a real business. And, you know, for me, I never really chased the fame like that. I could be way more famous than I am right now. You know what I mean? If I just put myself in front of the camera.
Though. Everybody knows that. You're pretty famous.
Yeah, I wish I was less famous, honestly. But the fame I have is annoying sometimes. People taking pictures of you in the mall and posting in weird shit like that. But overall, man, I just want to say that you and I go back, and I've watched you through the ups and downs, and the way you've been able to maintain and put on, you know, a strong face and never complain and deal with the tragedies that every life has, you know, in its own way, man. And there's a lot of tragedies we didn't even talk about in this interview. But the fact that you're still here, you're still working, you look good, you look healthy.
Thank you, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You're still putting out dope music. You still have a lot of respect, you know, by your peers. Really, man, I love to see it.
Thank you, bro.
I love to see it, man.
It's a testament to God, bro. Like, you know, throughout my whole career, like, you know, I try to maintain a relationship with God, you know, through the ups and downs. Like, you know, it's been times when my relationship with God's been stronger than it was, you know, and there's times that my relationship with God been weaker, but I always try to maintain a relationship with God and put God first.
Yeah, and we've seen firsthand how things could go wrong very quickly. Me and ARAB had a real close relationship. I'd been putting on ARAB from the beginning.
Man. Free the bros, man. Free that, man. Ab, good dude with a good heart too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Very much so. Very much so. I remember getting the call from Swizz. Was like, yo, I got this artist in Philly. I want you to, do an interview with him.
Ab always been pressure. Like, I remember, like, back when he was, like, with, like, after, like, the shit with Cassidy, like, after the battle and everything, when I was, like, really checking him out, I'm like, damn, boy, really got some hitters with him, because Ab and them niggas was going crazy back then. Like,
yeah,
he been sturdy, been giving that bar work up for years.